You're listening to Hotep Ish with your host, Dewan B. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. We are here live. I just had to finish hitting the last of the joint, you dig? So we can have church this Sunday morning. Church! Hey, I do sometimes be laughing though, cause like when I was at my last church, I used to, this one church I used to play the drums at. I played the drums there for years. I mean, over a decade, dog. And when I left, they was basically just like, bye. I was like, oh, okay, like that. So I do appreciate it when my petty side, I'm very petty in a lot of ways. I'm a Gemini. I'm petty. I do enjoy the fact that I have more listeners on my show on any given Sunday or day than my whole old church has all week combined on their social media. It's kind of funny to me when you dedicate yourself to something for so long, do your best, be the best you can be at it. Look, I used to be in the nightclub I used to be out partying and hanging out till about 5:30, 6 in the morning. And still be at church for 8 o'clock service to play the drums during my 20s. That's how I spent my 20s. That's how I spent my college years. Partying Saturday night at church Sunday morning. And I never missed unless I was out of town. Dedicated. Two services a Sunday. So when I left and I announced and told them, hey man, I gotta move on. You know, the musicians were cool, but the church itself was kind of like, bye. I'm like, for real? Nigga, I grew up in this church. So when I see I got more likes on my broadcast than they have viewers, that shit's kind of funny to me. Yes, please like and share. What's up, Unsunken One? What's up, Secured Bags? Dr. Sinister, Hot One. Oh, what's that? Otaku Jew? The hell? I think I seen that nigga in the Bruce Lee movie. What's up, Eric Keys? Yeah, what's up, Trashy Pine? John Grain? Evan? Thank y'all for joining the chat room. We are here. Yeah, today we're gonna talk about being black in America. I saw this topic trending on Twitter. And I remember CNN had like a show on being black in America. And basically what you get when people talk about being black in America, it's a whole bunch of woe is me stories. Oh, when we's gonna overcome, white folks don't treat us right. We need to do better. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. What's up, Derek Timmon? What's up, Poppin'? What's up, Sylvester? Usually when they talk about being black in America, it's a whole bunch of sour sap sorry shit. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of black being synonymous with bottom of the bucket, with struggle, with having to overcome. All these things are true, but they don't define us. What America does is it takes the struggle that we overcome and make that our story. Nigga, overcoming ain't our story, that's their story. Those are conditions that they place on us. Black people win regardless. Let's get this shit straight. We are a winning race. Black Americans. We've always won. Overcoming is just, a part of our story as winners. It's not our story. That's their story. Because they're the ones always putting up the barriers, right? Of course, overcoming is the story of a group when you're the group that's always putting up walls and building new ditches and trap doors and all kinds of other shit. It's not our story. We got to redefine and tell our story for what it is. Because the children have to get an accurate assessment of who we are. They got to know. Because if you're always putting it in the mind of a child that in order to get somewhere, he has to overcome, then what is that? How does that how can I say this? How does that motivate a child, a person, an individual? I get the people who are always winning. The cream of the crop is always going to rise. But why when it comes to black people, only the cream of the crop gets to win while everybody else has to suffer? When we're dealing with white society and these other societies, they're marginal, still live in $1 million neighborhoods. You can be marginal and Asian and still live in your own community without worried about being gentrified. You could be marginal and white and still live in Brentwood. To be black and live in one of these great areas, you have to really, really, really rise to the top. And a lot of that, I think, this is my conjecture. This is how I see the world. Everyone is righteous and everyone has the right to see the world in the way they see fit. I'm not going to argue with you and how you see the world. I'm only giving my opinion. But it's my conclusion based on what I see that if we just reframe the narrative and really, really, really show black people who we really are marginal and are less talented can still be on the top or at least somewhere in the middle. I think the reason why our marginal and our less talented, I don't want to use the word less talented. I don't want to use the word because everybody has talent. Our marginal and those who haven't found their gift. Let me say that. I apologize for saying less talented. I don't want to say that because there are no less talented people. What you have is you have people who may be in arenas and doing things they shouldn't be doing. That's why it appears they don't have talent. You know, you got people who should be software engineers trying to be comedians. You know, it's not that they're less talented. It's just that comedy may not be their thing, but they probably be the dopest software engineer on earth. Everybody has talent, but everybody don't find their talent. And what I'm saying is, in other societies, you don't necessarily have to be the one that found your talent. You could just go because of the color of your skin and get a good job and live in the upper middle class neighborhood. With a black person, you pretty much got to hit on all fours. You got to find your talent. You got to cultivate your talent. Then once you cultivate your talent, you got to grow your talent. Then once you grow your talent, you got to sell your talent. Then you got to get good at selling your talent. And then when you do all that, you can now be on top. I think, again, it's my conjecture. A lot of people who haven't found their talent, it's not that they're not talented or don't want to find their talented. A lot of people are discouraged because when you hear every day, I have to overcome, we shall overcome. One day we'll be free. One day we gonna make a change. Let's all come together. What's wrong with us? When you hear that every day, that shit can get depressing, dog. For real, for real. Some people just want to get up, go to work, come home, and be with their kids, be with their wife, be with their family, or jack off to Pornhub. Whatever it is you do, whatever floats your boat. But when you black and you have in your subconscious mind and you've been being fed this bullshit your whole life, that shit can get tiring. You got black folks with college degrees working security guard jobs. That's just tiring. And then you come home, turn on the TV, and these are the images you see of yourself. You only can win if you play basketball or entertain people. Those are the only people you see winning. You turn on the news, you got I can't breathe. That was one of the most negative affirmations. Like that slogan, I can't breathe. I never used that slogan. I never used the slogan Black Lives Matter. Cause I matter. I know I matter. I ain't got to tell you. I definitely ain't got to tell no motherfucker who's trying to slowly genocide my ass that my life matters. No, you got to show that motherfucker your life that matters. You can't plead to them. But some people don't have the mental strength. I once didn't have the mental strength that I have now. So you deal with what you deal with on a daily basis. And then when you come home, you see niggas banging. associating that bullshit degenerate lifestyle with Black America. You see, we had a civil rights movement with a whole bunch of people saying we shall overcome. Then you get a little slogan, Black Lives Matter, that's somewhat successful. Then you got to hear Black trans lives matter. Like, hold on. You black, ain't you? Fuck's all this extra shit. So the images that we get as Black people in America are grown-up baby boys. Because what is sports? What is basketball? What is football? What is boxing? What are they? They're games. Who plays games? Children. I got somebody in a chat room jumping ahead. Don't jump ahead. God damn it. I think some of y'all be having ADD. I ain't about to start the damn program with the end. You gotta tell a story. Stories have arcs. Be patient. I'll get to what you want to hear at some point. And if at some point don't get to the point you didn't want to hear, if I never say anything you wanted to hear in that broadcast, then that's cool too. Somebody else liked it. Be patient when you're listening. Damn, chill. I love y'all, but be patient. So, we as Black people, we come home to these images every day. And it's very discouraging. It's discouraging to those who haven't been, how can I say this, debriefed, deprogrammed. See, a lot of people here in this chat room, in this listening to this broadcast, we've been deprogrammed in a lot of ways, debriefed. This program is that I do, Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. This is a deprogramming program. Deprogramming every broadcast is centered around deprogramming what they tell us we are and showing us with evidence who we really are. That's the thing, that's the goal of this show. So those who are here have either already been deprogrammed or they're going through the deprogramming process. That's why you're here. But it's a lot of people who haven't been deprogrammed. It's a lot of people who've never been debriefed. Dr. Carl Anderson talks about that. We went through the slavery experience and we were never debriefed. And then over the last 150 years, we've gone through the Jim Crow 2.0, and now currently in Jim Crow 3.0 is where we currently are. Yet we still haven't been debriefed as to what's going on. And unfortunately, for those who have not been debriefed, another element they have to deal with is those of us who have been debriefed and know the information and know the knowledge. Half of us that know the knowledge treat the people who don't know the knowledge like shit. A lot of niggas with information do that same shit people in church do. You know how the church environment is. I've been going to this church for 30 years. My mother went to this church. You got somebody new coming to the church trying to find out who God is, and you got the people in the church looking down on them and turning their nose up because they've been there longer. That's how a lot of people who are into information are. You know the 42 Laws of Ma'at. You know who Dr. John Henry Clark is. You've been aware of who you are in your blackness, and then it's somebody new into it, or somebody who's unaware of who their blackness is, and they get treated by shit. They get treated like shit by the people who know the information. If you know the information, your job is to teach it with an open heart, with love, with care, with compassion, not to big up somebody. If you in this chat room and you somebody who do know better, when you come across somebody who don't know better, if they have a willing ear to listen, you communicate with love, not with I know this and you don't know shit. Get that bullshit ass mentality out of here, black people. Now, with some people who just troll. Now, if it's one of the people who just troll, like it's certain people who they coons and they gonna be permanent coons. Don't even associate your time with them. Leave them the fuck alone. They don't even matter. They ain't shit. Don't even have these conversations with them because you know those kind of people don't even want to grow. They just coming to troll you. Ignore them. But if it's someone coming to you who didn't know, it's your job to teach it with compassion, care, and love. And when you run across another brother who does know the information, I get this a lot. I'll get people who like new to my social media or whatever, or new to, and they'll hear me talking, and then they'll want to get into a pissing contest of who knows more. Well, did you know blah, 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 blah? Well, did you know blah, 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 blah? I'm not here to dick swing on what I know, people. I'm here to communicate to the willing ear that doesn't know. I'm not here to say I know more than you. I don't know it all. It's niggas who know way more than me. When it comes to foundational Black American history, I found out a lot of that stuff more recently when I came to researching my own family history. When I saw that we have family here in America that through the 1800s and 1900s and 1700s was never enslaved. That's when I started to find out more about foundational Black American history through my own family research. Dane Calloway know way more than I do. That's why I'm always goddamn reading. I don't know shit. It's people out there, when it comes to African history, it's people out there who can run circles around me when it comes to the knowledge. Run circles around me. But I've always been a seeker of knowledge in different areas. And thank God, luckily for me, my talent is communicating. My degree is in communication studies. I got a college degree in that because I was already good at it. I wanted to cultivate it because I knew someday I was going to be a public speaker. At the time, I thought I'd be a public speaker. At the time, my expertise was banking. I thought I'd be an international keynote speaker on banking policies and shit like that. That's what I thought I was going to get my degree for because I found my talent. My talent is talking. My talent is retaining information and explaining it to people in digestible terms. I'm not here to dick swing about me knowing more than somebody else. I ain't got time for that bullshit. And then you get people like, sometimes I'll be on Craig Facts at 5150. I'll look in the chat room. Like, oh, DeJuan think he know it all. No, I don't think. Matter of fact, I know I don't know it all. I just know more than you. And how do I know more than you? Because people who don't know shit are the only people who are threatened by those who do and say dumb shit like, that person's a know-it-all. The only people who say bullshit like that are people who don't know shit. And the reason why they don't know shit is because they don't want to know shit. They insecure. So I ain't got time for them kind of hoe-ass niggas either. If you're somebody who knows the information, communicate the information with love. You don't have to be the best communicator. You don't have to have a degree in communication studies like I do. Just whatever you say, speak to them with the love and compassion you want to be spoken to when you're interested in learning something. We can go a lot further if the black people with the knowledge and the information stop talking shit and dick swinging about it and turn around and go and help and communicate what you know with love and compassion to those who don't. When we in that conscious, quote unquote, I don't even like using the word conscious community, but when those of us in that community get to that level, we'll see more change. We'll see big change. Can't be stingy with the information. And you can't get offended by somebody else's information. If they know something more than you, get next to that motherfucker and learn. I don't care if they're younger than you. We had a brother in the studio last month on Craig Facts. Nigga was 27 years old, giving me game. I'm 39. He was 27. That motherfucker was teaching me. And I was sitting there listening. Because I didn't know what he knew. I do now because he taught it to me. Ain't that dope? Now I know what the motherfucker know because I sat and listened and let him talk and tell it to me. We need everybody. That's what the Italian. That's a good comment, old head dude. Smart people need to realize that they need the mob. That's what made the mafia work so well. Your smart guys always befriended the dumb brute. Because not as if the brute is a dumb person. They have a different area of intelligence. They have a physical intelligence the smart people don't quite understand. Remember, there are 7 forms of intelligence. I did a broadcast on that way back in the day. I'm going to do a broadcast real soon on the 7 forms of intelligence and how every intelligence matters and how when we use our different levels of intelligence and use it as a community, as a collective, as a group, that's the full 360. That's the circle. And that's how we move forward. But dick swinging is not the way. Back to the program. Who they say we are. They're always talking about black people as thugs. And this is how this point really hit home to me. When I was working with my kids at my last job, I would always ask the kid, my black kids, well, how do you see yourself? Unfortunately, I was the first person to ask these 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds that question. You should be asking kids this question from the moment they can answer questions. Check in with them, their mental strength. Undoubtedly, when I would ask my kids how they see, they all have their different unique answers on how they saw themselves. But the common answer I would get on the second question would be how do you see black people? And their answer from my 8-year-olds to my 15-year-olds. We be on the news like, we be shooting each other too much, man. We don't be getting along. We always it really hurt me when I asked a 7-year-old this question. And he was a smart little boy. I ain't gonna say his name. But I asked my 7-year-old, how do you see black people? He said, we always in trouble. That hurt. I was playing. I would give my kids and we would play games together. Sometimes Roblox, Fortnite. I would teach my kids dominoes. This particular kid, I was teaching him dominoes at the age of 7. We playing dominoes. And I said, how do you see black people? He said, we're always in trouble. Think about that. This is a kid who I'm only in his life as a case manager because, hell, he was always in trouble. But when you have a negative viewpoint of yourself, that then breeds negative expectations of yourself. You're right, Guru Cam. Propaganda teaching us self-hate. That's true. How do we fix it? How do we inoculate ourselves around that? By us teaching and telling who we really are. That's our job. They're going to do what they do. As long as they control the images, these images we see on the screen here are going to be the images that they know. And the sad thing is, there's a lot of black parents who do know better. But in my years working with families and children, black families don't talk to our children about these things. Aunts, uncles, parents, cousins. These aren't the conversations being had at the family reunion. Who we really are. These conversations, for the most part, aren't happening at church. I kind of talked shit about my church a little earlier. I got to give them a little bit of credit now, because my church, at least for about a 3-year period, they didn't stay on it for long, but for about a 3-year period, they were talking more about who we are as black people. Dr. Claude Anderson came down. They were really promoting his book, Black Labor, White Wealth, when it came out in the mid-90s. My church went on about a 3-year run of really talking pro-black. And that did a lot for me, because that's what introduced me to Claude Anderson. It did a lot for me. I got to give my church growing up credit for that. My church introduced me to Dr. Kawanza Kunjufu. He used to come down and speak. So there was a period my church did it. Rest in peace, Dr. Fred Price. He gave Dr. Claude Anderson the most exposure. Most of those videos you see with Dr. Claude Anderson teaching Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth, that was actually done at Crenshaw Christian Center. Dr. Frederick Tracy Price gave Dr. Claude Anderson a national platform, and then Dr. Price spoke a whole year on racism within the church. And that helped open my eyes. So I got to give credit. Even though I talk shit about the church, I got to give credit where credit is due. There have been churches who've done these things. Dr. Cherry in D.C., his church when he was alive, would talk about and do these things. I just wish we can get more churches to do these things. But we don't have these conversations. And like I said earlier, the people who do know the information can be very mean. The people who do understand the information can oftentimes be very, very, very mean, which is a major roadblock in communicating the information and the knowledge to the people. Like the video, share, please, 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 please. Like the video and share. Donate to the Cash App. Y'all see the Cash App right there. It's Sunday morning. Drop your tithes in the church bucket. Ha! I'm just playing. Drop your tithes, drop your tithes. We having church this Sunday morning. Follow me on Instagram. Click on my link tree where you will find the tickets to my upcoming webinar 2 weeks from today. No time to waste. A self-motivation guidebook, where in that book I write in plain words my methods on helping people find their true talent from within. So you're not always running outside of your neighborhood trying to get employment. You find what's in there. You're going to get it out of you. You're going to make that bread. This webinar is in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. Everyone who purchases webinar, a seat in the webinar, gets a copy of the ebook. And if you can't make it, the webinar will still be uploaded to my website. And you can get it through perpetuity after that. And the book will go on sale as a standalone after the webinar. Back to our program. We as a people need to understand who we really are. And when we understand who we really are, we can then communicate that and let that become a culture of communicating. Why is it black people don't really talk about these things? Well, I know my grandparents didn't tell me much. My parents didn't tell me much about racism at all. Neither did my grandparents. That's something that got passed down because I found out through searching family history, my great-grandparents lived in Tulsa at the time of the Tulsa riots, Black Wall Street. And I found out that after those riots happened, black people who remained in Tulsa and the surrounding areas were not allowed to speak on it because it became common law. And mind you, this isn't just Tulsa. I'm just giving you an exact example of Tulsa. These things happen nationwide. To where if the black family, if anyone black got caught talking about the Tulsa race riots in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, they could get lynched. That's right. It was a crime to talk about the Tulsa massacre. That's why black people did not talk about the Tulsa massacre. Same thing in Wilmington. Same thing anywhere white people have terrorized us and taken our shit. It became common law for us not to speak on these things. It became criminal to speak on these things. So what happens if you speak on these things, or if a child, that's another thing. If a child got caught in public speaking on these things, you and that child could be harmed. Meaning you talk about, just say in the house, y'all were talking about what happened during the Tulsa race riots, and say you're walking down Greenwood, Pine, or Archer, shouts out to the Gap Band, and that child says, "Hey, mommy, is this the store that great granddaddy used to own before the race riots?" And someone white hears that, you and that child are then subject to further mistreatment. So what do? You don't talk about it. And these have been black code policies in America going back to the 1700s. Not only did our shit get taken from us, talking about the shit that got taken from us was criminalized. So in America, we've developed a culture of not talking about what was taken from us. And all it takes is one generation to change a culture. It takes one generation to change a culture, 2 generations to forget. 2 to 3. Some studies say 3. How does it take a generation or 2 to forget? Something happens to a group of people in 1919, right? Great grandpappy was born in 1924. Something that happened to the people in when great grandpappy's born in 1924, by the time he's 6 is 1930. That's about the age when they start to, really understand stuff. And then 8 is when you really start to understand the world around you and, ask deeper questions. You're always asking questions, but 8 is when you really set in and really start to understand the world around you. Well, if by the time you're 8, you've never heard any of those stories and you never hear those stories, then you have a child in 1950. That child is born. Daddy never told the stories. Granddaddy never told the stories. Whatever happened during that time is now lost and dumped into the ash cans of history. Because great granddaddy or granddaddy would have faced such brutalism and terrorism by speaking to you, it was in granddaddy's best safety for you not to tell you what went on. Because what do children do? Children just talk. Hey, mommy, that lady over there is fat. Y'all know our kids are assholes. So it's in a child's best safety not to know. Because a child's going to be a child. And in one generation, 2 max, whatever happened to that population of people is lost and dumped into the ash cans of history. That's been our experience here in the United States of America. Well, now we're no longer under such direct terrorism. We can tell our stories. Now all they'll do is demonize us. So now we got our documentaries out, your Hidden Colors, your Happy Film, Out of Darkness. All those films Brother Kaba be in. Go back and watch our interview. We now can communicate these things. We don't communicate these things because it's been bred in us through violence not to. Those cultural memories are in our epigenetics. But we now have a choice. We're the elephant with the small chain around our ankle. Now, all we got to do is just kick the chain. That little chain ain't shit. But we've been raised to think the chain is as strong as it was 2 and 3 generations ago. And it's not. It's not. We have other chains on us now that they didn't have at that time. But the chain of communication, of not being able to communicate who we are to our youth and to each other, that chain no longer exists. The only chain on that is in our mind. So when we start to break that chain, when we start to live it and pass it down, who we really are, who the fuck gonna stop us? Thank you, Ali Himmet, for the Cash App. I appreciate that. I appreciate the Cash App donation. Who the fuck can stop us? Huh? That's why we gotta say who we really are. That's why I put these images on the screen. Who are we really, black people? Are we the weirdo losers that the mainstream tries to say we are? Or are we better than that? You're right, Infamous Kim. Mental blockage is far worse than physical blockage. That's why we here having church this Sunday morning. Breaking the chains in our mind. Showing us who the fuck we really are. This is who we got to communicate to the kids, who we really are. Travion Lamont says Gods of the Galaxy. You right. But that's the master's level program. Right now I'm keeping it elementary and middle school, you dig? But you all right. I might actually do whenever I create my Patreon, I'm gonna talk about stuff like that on Patreon. Get real deep on that kind of shit. But for right now, we're gonna keep it on Earth. We're keeping it to who we are on Earth. We're Dr. John Henry Clark. We're Dr. Welsing. We're Ida B. Wells. We're Horace King, Benjamin Banneker, Booker T. Washington, Robert Smalls, Lewis Latimer. We hip hop. This is who we got to communicate who we are, how as a people, because overcoming is the condition that America put us under. What we have on screen is who we've been all along, regardless of whatever conditions they put us under. Because we don't need to overcome anything in America. We just need to be. We just need to exist. We just need to know who we are and live it. White America, they're not an obstacle. We can cut right through and around them. Dr. John Henry Clark has always said, you can do anything you want to do in America as long as you do it with a low profile. We gotta be willing to share who these people are and how they relate to us as black people in America. We ain't got time for dick swinging contests. We ain't got time for, I read the ISIS papers when I was 2 years old. You be saying that? I had a discussion one time in my book club on Facebook, and I haven't even been in my book club. I've just neglected that thing. I need to actually restart my Facebook Hotepish book club. But I would see people in there talking like, man, you just not reading this book? I read this book in 1990. I ain't got time for that shit, man. If you read the book and I read the book, let's discuss on what we learned. Because what you learned, what you got from that book may be different than what I pulled from that book. Let's have a good discussion. Not dick squeaking contest of who read it first. Salute to other people with the information. Salute to Hotep Jesus. Salute to Dr. Randy Short. Salute to Tariq, to Jason Black, to Professor Black Truth. Salute to all these people who are here because it's going to take all of us, man. It's not a fight. We got to stop that fighting shit. We never get to explain who we really are when we always fucking fighting. Somebody said, I be capping for immigrants too much. Do you have, is that wax in your ears or is it a dick in your ear? Who the fuck? That's another thing. People hear what the hell they want to hear. I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what you hear. People just be saying some dumb shit. I ain't never a fuck. Say I kept. Wow. Some of y'all be out. What the fuck? Sometimes I get befuddled at the comment section. Like, Dewan, you said, huh? I do a whole program on apples and oranges, and it's always that one person in the chat room or in the comments that say, nigga, but what you said about grapes? Nigga, I ain't even talking about grapes. The fuck you talking about? Back to our regularly scheduled program. But let's talk about who we really are. We Lewis Latimer. America tries to tell us who Thomas Edison is. But they don't tell us about Lewis Latimer, the person who really created the light bulb. We James Smalls too. Salute to I would love to interview James Smalls. You're right. Everybody's like, I ain't never heard me a cap for illegals. Like, where the fuck that nigga come from? See, the most angry people in the chat room be the ones mad at you for saying some shit that you never said. God damn. But I laugh. I laugh at that. Cody said, I missed that stream. Yeah. What stream did I ever cap for immigrants? I don't fuck. Some of these niggas gonna be weird. But who we really are, we're Robert Smalls. This motherfucker Robert Smalls escaped slavery, stole a whole Confederate ship, came back, picked up his wife, recruited 5,000 people to fight in the Civil War, and then bought his slave master's house. And then after he bought his slave master's house, the motherfucker ran for public office and won. This is who we are. We're George Washington Carver. Creating the assembly line for mass production of cars off studying a plant. We're Benjamin Banneker. Benjamin Banneker creating the Farmer's Almanac that America still uses to this day. Designing the city of Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. because he was a motherfucking genius. We Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, look, people understand the same things that the elements that go into hip hop are also the elements of jazz. What hip hop did for Black America in the 1980s and 70s is what jazz did for Black America in the 1920s. When America all but, because you got to remember, back in 1905, back in the early 1900s, the Black people actually could work for government in government positions and be managers over white people until Woodrow Wilson took that from us in the 19-teens. You know, Black people had all been forced out of the labor market post 1880 because of labor unions. Black people had all but been written out of the economy in the 19-teens. We created our own economies. We had our own small cities and towns. When most of those small cities and towns got burnt down and we went to the major cities and then went to the major cities and couldn't find jobs, we had jazz. Couldn't pay the rent? Throw a rent party. People pay whatever people paid 25 cents, 50 cents to attend the rent party. Rent paid. That's what jazz did for us. We created a sound that the world loved. Employed tens of thousands of musicians and the economy around. That's what we do. Same thing we did with hip hop. When they all but X'd us out of the economy and brought crack in during the 80s, we created hip hop. If a way ain't made, goddamn it, we make that way. That's who we really are. We Horace King, born into slavery, and then turned around and designed the top of this beautiful building that we see, the Alabama State House on the right. That's who we really are. Ida B. Wells creating her own newspaper, bringing attention to lynching. Ida B. Wells didn't wait on no fucking white folks to do shit. She didn't join no LGBTQ, woe is me, Black Lives Matter movement. Nah. And she said she's sticking next to her black man while she do it, when they tried to recruit her over to that feminism bullshit. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, when given the option after she graduated college to go anywhere in the world, because remember, Dr. Welsing's parents were doctors. When she was given the option to go on vacation anywhere in the world, she said, no, I don't want to go on vacation. I want to go straight to Germany and study racism at its roots. I want to study what happened in the Holocaust, because it looks a lot like what's happening here in America. She said no to Hawaii and yes to cold, frigid, racist Germany for 4 years to do her studies to bring us back the ISIS papers. We're Johnny Clark. I said Johnny Clark. Ha! I see a picture of John Henry Clark and Johnny Cochran. Dyslexia like a motherfucker. We're Johnny Cochran. See, now they like to parade that Mighty Joe Young looking, what's that motherfucker Ben Crump name? That Ben Crump? Looking like King Kong. I think they like Ben Crump because Ben Crump literally looks like Sambo. Let's bring that ape-looking nigger in. You know, we always call black people apes, even though we're white. Even though we really do look more like apes than them, because we have no lips, hairy backs. Let's bring in that one Negro that does look like an ape. Let's bring that Ben Crump. Bring that guy. Then he thought like this. We need freedom and equality. Ben Crump, that nigga look like he make a mean iced tea and barbecue and call it the Massa Special. This my Massa Special. Lemonade tea and these short ribs, Massa. Massa, I made some short ribs for you. Now. Let me explain why old Jimmy out there don't need to get beat. And every time Slave Crump try to come to bat for you and tell you why you don't need to get beat, you get beat twice as hard because he gave the worst fucking case possible. Nah. You don't need to beat him because he just, all he did was look at your wife. He didn't really rape her. All Johnny did was look at Miss Millie. He just looked at her. Ben, why the fuck you tell her I looked at him? You know he gonna beat my ass if you say I looked. Nigga, I tried. I told him you didn't do anything. You just looked. Nigga, you said that last time and I got beat. Why you say it again? Well, I thought it worked. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry ass Ben Crump. Nigga ain't won shit. Now I'm sorry you got beat now, but I got an extra butter biscuit. You want to share? Nah. Get this nigga Ben away from us. It seems like every time he around us, every time I look at Miss Millie booty, I get caught. They parade that sorry motherfucker around us. Somebody said get off Trump. No, I'm not going to get off Trump. No, I'm not going to get off Trump. Fuck Ben Crump. Because he works with them. I don't have reverence for black people that work with our enemy. No. All skin folks ain't my kin folks. Every time Ben Crump come around, these sorry ass settlements come. And the reason why these settlements, he keep pushing these settlements, is because that then absolves the police department and there are no federal crimes, no federal charges that come after. Justice, settlements do not bring justice. When Johnny Cochran was around, we got justice. And after you got your justice, you might get a settlement. But justice came first under Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran had a reputation here in LA. My dad used to talk about him all the time. Back in the 70s and the 80s, when black people was getting hemmed up, it was Johnny Cochran getting them off, out of jail. It was Johnny Cochran taxing the LAPD. See, Johnny Cochran was getting money, was getting justice off the LAPD long before OJ. Y'all niggas saw Johnny Cochran at OJ. Johnny Cochran was doing that for black people in the 70s. We gotta know the difference between a friend and controlled opposition. We have to know the difference between a friend and and controlled opposition. Ben Crump is controlled opposition. Ben Crump is now. Everybody settle down, so I can get my check. And nothing changes. No. Black people don't need no lames like that. If we gonna have lawyers, we need lawyers seeking justice. If you were black in LA during the 1980s and the police pulled you over and roughed you up and took your money and threw you in jail on some absurd charges, you can call Johnny Cochran, get out of jail, get your record expunged, and get some money. How about that? Johnny Cochran wasn't about the money. Johnny Cochran was about justice. That's what he was about. He wasn't about everybody calm down so I can line my pockets. Fuck out of here. If me, DeJuan Brown, if I'm talking about a black person in a negative way, it's because I viewed them and their moves over a long, protracted time. And I see the game that they running. I'm not just spewing a bunch of bullshit that I heard. I've been watching Ben Crump's game real heavy since Trayvon Martin. I've been watching very close. Listen to what some of these parents say about Ben Crump. I get the VGQ concept, and I don't agree with everything anybody says. I don't agree with the VGQ concept in the Neely Fuller book. I love Neely Fuller, and I agree with 98% of what he says. And I understand I understand VGQ. For those who don't know what VGQ is, that's Neely Fuller's victim's guarantee qualification, basically saying that every victim has the right to speak on how they see racism. And I do agree with that part in and of itself. Every victim of white supremacy racism does have the right to speak on racism the way they see fit. I do agree with that. But what I don't agree with is not calling out an obvious turncoat. You never tell the United States not to forget who, what's that boy's name? What's that motherfucker name for treason? Y'all know, Benedict Arnold. The United States will never stop speaking ill of Benedict Arnold's name. Because when you actively do things, when you wear my uniform and you're representing my team and you're working hand in hand so the other team can win, no, I have to call you out. Because that's no longer an innocent move. Some people just have different approaches. Like, I don't approach racism the same way, say, some of these mainstreamers do. There's certain people like Ta-Nehisi Coates who talks about racism, but he talks about racism in a more palatable way for white people to hear. That ain't my style. I don't agree with it, but I don't necessarily call him out because he just has a different way of doing it. I don't see Ta-Nehisi Coates actually doing anything to actively undermine the progress of black people. But when you're choosing a settlement over justice, that's undermining us. That's allowing it to continue to go because white supremacy has unlimited amounts of funds. If it's just going to be a settlement, they can settlement your ass they going to settlement us into extinction if we allow shit like that to happen. That shit got to be called out because now you're basically passively allowing the deaths of us to continue because you're not seeking justice. Johnny Cochran didn't run around talking about saying, man, we ain't gonna get no justice, so I'm just gonna get some money. Johnny Cochran said, no, fuck that. We getting justice. And he got it. Somebody said justice in their courts is a myth. Are you fucking listening? I'm talking about Johnny Cochran. It ain't a myth. You can do it. Black people, like I said before, can do anything we want to do. We just got to put our mind to it. We don't get what we don't put our mind to. If you run around talking about something, well, we just not going to get it. Then no, you're not going to get it. If you don't think you don't get it, bye. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm giving you proof of us getting it. We do get it when that's what we focus on. But when we focus on settlements and I can't breathe and Black Lives Matter, that's what we get. We get whatever the fuck we focus on getting. Whatever we dedicate our heart and soul towards getting, we get. I don't do that woe is me blackness. I don't do that, oh, they just better than us. They just so dominant. They just so superior. No, the fuck they ain't. We just quit. How about that? How about that? Black people make a little bit of progress and then save party time. How about that? I talked about this on my last broadcast. Appreciate the Cash App donation, Travion. Thank you for donating on this Sunday morning church service. Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk. Intelligent shit talk. I talked about that in the 70s when I was talking to my dad about that. My dad talked about in the 60s, they saw all that progress made. And when the 70s came, cats just wanted to party. Is that white supremacy being better than us? Or is that us taking our foot off the gas? Let me ask that question again. Black people made all that progress in the 70s. I mean, in the 60s. And I do call it progress because, yes, white supremacy had this trick bag language in it, but white supremacy don't give up a goddamn thing unless they have to. And we put it on them to where they had to give it up. But what happened in the 70s? Black people should have spent the 70s refining what we got, getting more. Okay, that's a start. We're cool with civil rights. Okay, now it's time for reparations. Okay, yeah, we're cool with civil rights. Now we need money just for us to build businesses. We see y'all gave up money for welfare. Now we need money just for black business ownership. And then once we got that, okay, now we need money just for our black neighborhoods. Y'all bringing drugs in here. That means y'all got money to give us to buy up every vacant lot. What if we spent the 70s and the 80s with our foot on the gas? What if we did that? We didn't do that. We went to disco parties and then went to the 80s with Jerry curls, shags. The young hip hoppers were revolutionary, but you gotta realize NWA was teenagers. What were the adults doing in the 80s when hip hop was coming up? When Rakim was a teenager, early 20s, doing what he did, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, them was kids, young people. What were the old people doing? People in their prime of their lives, people in their 40s. They was listening to Howard Hewitt, growing the biggest shags and Jerry curls, and playing Lionel Richie. We took our foot off the gas. Is that white folks being better than us? Or is that us walking off the field of play? This is not a chat room. This place. In this room, we don't play that victim shit. And we don't play that white people are just that much better than us shit. Get both of them mentalities out of here. They ain't all that. We just stopped fighting. Stop the bullshit. We just stopped fighting. But like I said before, like I always say on this program, when we fight, we win. Black people just fight for like 5 years and then quit. White supremacy on the other end never stops fighting. These motherfuckers don't take no breaks. These motherfuckers don't take no breaks. Think of the last time white supremacists ran a commercial to empower your black ass. You got black people really trying to argue and force Eminem into the top 5 rappers of all time just because he's a little better than average and he's white. Man, you can't be mad at Eminem, man, just because he's white. Yes, the fuck I can. White folks don't give us no breaks. Going back to Neely Fuller, entertainment, education, labor, law, politics, sex, and war. I may be forgetting one off the top of my head is the 9 areas of activities. Name one area of activity white supremacy ever gives us a break. Name 1 minute of a break that we've gotten in the last 500 years. Just go back and tell me what year, what day did white supremacy ever come around and be clean and 100 with us? Because when they do talk about black wins, they talk about Martin Luther King as if he died in 1964. As if the March on Washington was just it. When they do talk about black wins, they say, okay, the first black person to get this white job. They don't tell you about Lewis Latimer. They tell you about the first nigga to get a job. When we do get a black win, they tell you about somebody who bounced a basketball. Or somebody who sold X amount of records. That ain't no fucking win. White supremacy has never taken 1 second with a foot off our necks. One. They ain't better than us. They ain't stronger than us. They ain't smarter than us. But one thing they are is more persistent than us. You got people in the chat room now, man. Man, they ain't never gonna do this. And they ain't never gonna. No, they're not. So what the fuck you gonna do? You got black folks that cannot wait. And this don't go for the chat room, but we know these niggas out there. Look at your Facebook wall or Twitter timeline or TikTok. Let a white person be able to halfway do a black dance, niggas go buck wild. Oh, look at white chocolate. Oh, we're inviting him to the barbecue. Have white folks ever invited black people to the barbecue? Oh man, that young 14-year-old black kid just went public and made $1 million, like Farrah Gray. They didn't invite Farrah Gray to the white barbecue for closing his first $1 million deal at the age of 14. They didn't invite the brother who invented the Super Soaker and made summer fun to the white barbecue. They didn't invite Robert Johnson to the white barbecue when he paid everybody's tuition at that black college a couple years ago. But let a white person say, racism is bad and Black Lives Matter. 70% of black society want to invite that motherfucker to the cookout. So are they better than us, or do we just give up? Chat room, time out that. If y'all don't be up in here arguing. If you see somebody arguing, man, time them out. We ain't got time to argue up in here. We're not here to argue. Again, non-confrontational with the information, people. Information shouldn't be a fight. Information shouldn't be a dick swinging contest. Information is just some shit you put out, and people either take what you have to say or they don't. You can't force it down their throat. You can't make them see it the way you see it. All you can do is put it out there and let the chips fall where they may. I ain't got time for all that arguing shit. Oh my God, here we go with somebody else. Black has no standing in law. Oh my God. I just finished talking about Johnny Cochran. If black don't have a standing in law, neither does white. God damn it. We're not about to have them arguments. I encourage people to speak on these things. Speak on these things. Go to your channel. We all gotta, if you're here watching me, that means you have a channel too. Go to your channel, title it, and create a show talking about black people not being black, and we really the Hebrew Israelites, or we really the Moors, or whatever you want to say. And you have full rights to say what you got to say. But if you over here, join the discussion or sit the fuck down. Focus, people, focus. God damn. People love these silly ass arguments. Look, people, Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, we're a little different over here, man. We not these like how they get down. Salutes to Sonetta, but this is not the Sonetta station. We don't argue here. We don't argue black information. We discuss. Moderators, if the person comes back in here, I'm not gonna say the name, saying talking all that shit, be long as, please time them out. None of these titles in America really have any standing. White, black, they're social constructs. And America is not literal about its laws. America goes by the law of I'm white and I say so. America goes by implied law. America writes one thing and prosecutes another thing. So if you get all of the quote unquote language right, they'll still say I'm white and I say so. So arguing about the language is just is a waste of time, crock of bullshit. Johnny Cochran didn't go around saying when we the Moors and that's how he won all of his cases. No. He just got dope at what he did. All Johnny Cochran did was get dope enough to convince 12 jurors that he was white. How about that? Johnny Cochran didn't say we really the Moors and we not gonna get. Johnny Cochran didn't say we ain't never gonna get justice in America if we call ourselves black. Johnny Cochran didn't say we need to change the language so we can get something done in our way. No. Johnny Cochran just got good enough at what he did to convince 12 people that he was right. How about that? We don't need to do shit before anything. We just need to get dope at what the fuck we do, whatever our role is, and be great at it. Because when our blackness is great, when we do great things, nothing, especially no saltine cracker can stop it. That's right, Butter Love. TWT. Time wasting tactics. Big love to Butter Love. Much love to you. Much love to Tasha Ray. I got some dope ass people who follow this program. Travion Lamont. Much respect to y'all. Knockout Noda. Dr. Sinister. I appreciate you motherfuckers for real. I do. Even Wayne Love Peacock trolling ass. Wayne Peacock, you cool motherfucker. Then he come in talking shit. Then next day talking some real shit. It's all good. It's all good. Oh. Hey, Wayne Peacock, you right. No, I do mention Reverend Knight. I may not have mentioned Reverend Knight on this show, but and I have mentioned him on this show. Maybe I'm not lately, but I fucks with Reverend Knight. I love Reverend Knight. That's why all them church people demonize him so much. Reverend Knight was teaching us the real shit. You have whatever the fuck you say. Bring it into existence on this plane now. Poppin', you a good motherfucker too. Thank you. Lorenzo Wright. I got big love for all y'all. Mickey Knox. I know I'm forgetting some people. Well, but I fucks with Reverend Knight. Reverend Knight he gave the keys to unchaining yourself mentally. Let's go back and listen to go subscribe to Reverend Knight's YouTube channel. I think it's like Reverend Knight something quotes. But they play a bunch of videos like and clips from old Reverend Knight tapes. Reverend Knight said, put energy and emotion behind what you say. Call it into existence. I am rich and wealthy. I am love. And do it with that emotion. Reverend Knight was teaching metaphysics. Reverend Knight was teaching that real deal. That's why I always say, yes, Marvin, I can't call him a monkey because I'm a comedian and I got jokes. He looked like one. Ben Crump looked like one. And Ben Crump is standing in the way of black justice. I'm going to talk shit about anybody standing in the way of black justice and they mama. That's who I am. Yes, I am. I don't have respect for anyone who gets in the way of black progress. I don't mind people who just go their own way and just, you ain't got to be a revolutionary. Everybody ain't going to be Malcolm X. But when you get in our way, fuck you. That's just how I see it. Maybe the Lord will change me one day, but for right now, that's who I is. But I'm glad people even brought up Reverend Knight because we got to remember, with all this racism, white supremacy, oppression, whatever, we are the gods of this earth. We are the first people here. So if we're the first in, last to go. We got to remember, we're in a long-standing war against these people. These people declared war on us 500 years ago. It haven't stopped. They're going to keep doing what they do, but we better, we stronger. We have an interstellar connection. We come from Sirius. We've been here millions of years, and we'll be here millions of more years. This white supremacy ain't no problem for us. We need to just, if we just fight and stand up, we can flick these hoes off us like water off of a duck's ass. They ain't shit to deal with. When we've gotten a lot done dealing with these motherfuckers in short bursts. Like imagine being in a boxing match. Black people throw punches. They throwing punches all 3 minutes of the round. Black folks punch back twice and knock them on their ass. They throw. And while they throwing, you got the MC now. We got black folks, and we go back to our corner, and our corner is saying, we just need to do better. We just need to join. Let's just go to their corner and hold hands, and let's talk about not fighting. That's what Ben Crump is in our fight. Ben Crump is like the trainer. Imagine you been in the fight, and the trainer saying, now, I don't think we can win. We ain't gonna be able to knock him out. But if you just stand there and let them keep punching you and hold on, cover your face so they don't knock you out, if we can just get through these 12 rounds, maybe we can get a decision from the judge. That's who Ben Crump is relative to black people. He the trainer telling you to take it to the scorecards. Don't fight back. Yeah, we in a fight, but don't fight back. Let's just go to the scorecards and let the judges decide. But here's the worst part about it. I'm using this is a boxing analogy. I was watching the fight last night, Harrison on Channel 11. I love boxing. I can't box for shit, but I love watching boxing. The team, our opponent that's boxing us, all this motherfucker is doing is he's throwing a jab, left. Jab, left. The jabs don't even hurt. The left, it kind of hurt a little bit, but no matter how much they throw it, it's not strong enough to knock us out. Instead of going back to our corner and having a trainer say, all right, all he doing is throwing jab, jab, left. When he throws a jab, duck the jab, back up, and when he throws the left, jump to your right and throw a right hook. His right jaw's going to be open. That's how simple their strategy is, and literally that's all we got to do to fight back. But instead of being strategic about how we fight back, we're going back to our corner, and our corner man is John Lewis, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, Jay-Z, Roland Martin. Those are the people that we're going back to our corner. That's our media. These actors with the blue check Twitter, they're our corner men. They're the ones that are supposedly have our best interests. They're supposedly supposed to be the ones training us, and they're telling us now that they only throwing a jab, jab left, but the jab don't hurt too hard, so you can take the jab. Just let them keep hitting you with the jab. And when they throw that left, we're going to have a Black Lives Matter rally that's going to block the left, so it won't touch you now. But just keep covering up and keep covering up, and we're going to take it to the scorecards, and hopefully the next fight, the judges give us the victory. If we just keep holding on now, if we just keep covering up now, if we just keep taking 8 punches now and hold on, one day the judge going to give us a victory. And then you got people in the stands saying, man, we ain't never going to win this fight, man. Man, they keep hitting us, man. We ain't going to never win. Man, they just too dominant, man. And we need to get together. And that's the people in the crowd is saying. The people in the crowd saying, instead of fighting, we just need to get together, man. If we just go to our corner and get together, we just go and get together, and they never gonna beat us, man. I mean, we never gonna beat them. Well, what about a strategy? Nigga, hey, all they doing is throwing a jab and a left. What if we duck the jab, move our feet, because we black, we got the athleticism to do it. What if we do this? We can win. And then the people coming around saying, let's just be strategic. They getting argued down left and right by the people saying, let's keep taking a punch. And then the people on the sideline saying, we never gonna win. And that's literally the situation we're in as black people. That's literally where we are as black people. We trying to win a fight, and you got people coming in the chat room. Nah, man, instead of focusing on the fight, it's the color shoes we wearing. It's because we got this white man's blue shoes on. If we put some red, green, and black shoes on, that's what it's going to take to win the fight, my brother. See, now you're not winning the fight, my brother, because you got the white man's gloves on. See, you ain't never gonna win the fight. Meanwhile, we're in the middle of round 6 getting our ass kicked, and we got motherfuckers saying, see, it's the color of the gloves, my brother. You shouldn't get the Everlast. The Everlast is the white man's glove. You never gonna win. Nigga, this the only glove I got. Let's fight. That's our problem. We got too many people focused on doing everything other than fighting. They want to change the word. They want to say Black Lives Matter. They want to plead and beg for mercy. They want to go around and say, well, the other team is just too good. Maybe we not good enough. All the time, we the motherfucking gods that seeded this earth. And we're the parents of these children we saying we can't defeat. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. We can do what the hell we want to do. And we can win. You saw here just today in this show alone, you have people literally in the comments saying we can't win in their court system. while I'm talking about Johnny Cochran winning in that court system. Ain't that a bitch? Think about that. We got folks telling us we can't win during the exact moment I'm talking about us winning. And this isn't dogpile on anyone. This is just to bring attention to our mindset. You right, Joe Feezy, Joe Fox. Shouts out to Joe Fox. What's up, Star? All these graphics that you see on my show, the third, all of the lower thirds and stuff like that, all the Hotep is box spinning, Joe Fox designed all that shit for me. Any graphic that you see on my shit, Joe Fox designed it. Which takes me to my t-shirts. This John Henry Clark shirt, this Martin Luther King shirt. Thank you, Joe Fox, for the design. The Hotep's logo, I designed that shit myself. And the cups. But the John Henry Clark shirt and the Martin Luther King shirt for sale right now, black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Salute to Joe Fox for designing that. You need your anything done on Photoshop, flyer, design, shit like that, inbox Joe Fox right now. And he has his own show too. I don't know the name of the show off the top of my head. Joe, if you can type in the name of your show in the chat, I will put it up across the thing. But salute to Joe Fox. Funny comic. I'll be having to, and he's done this show before. I think I was trying to get something done with Joe. He couldn't do it for me because he was on stage with Tony Rock. I'm like, God damn. Not only are you a dope designer, nigga, you be on tour all across this goddamn country. Salute to Joe and support everything that black man does. From the bottom of my heart. Get your merchandise. But we don't, it's the same thing I would say in basketball. When I was coaching basketball, this is how I coach. This is how I saw it. In basketball, it's not about beating the other team. It's about playing your best. Because when you execute your game plan, when you design it, when you carefully craft a game plan, that's Joe's show. Multiple personalities with Asia Sanders on Business, Bully TV. Support that. Support. All right, I'm just gonna have to just remove this person. I just have to remove somebody in the chat room. You put somebody on time. I try to just put people on timeout, and hopefully timeout just lets you. Whenever I put you on timeout, or someone in the chat, one of my moderators puts you on timeout, that's a way of saying, okay, chill. Either join the discussion or just stop typing. If you come off timeout and you keep running your mouth, then you'll just be blocked and removed from the chat. The second step is I remove this person. If they come back again, they'll just be blocked from the channel. No, I don't have time for that arguing shit. Made me lose my goddamn train of thought. Where was I, chat room? Where was I? Oh yeah. Speaking about strategy. You develop a game plan and you focus on that strategy. Usually teams beat themselves by getting outside of what they do and focusing on what the other team does. And that's a major problem with black society. That's one of the reasons why we do continue to lose on certain levels. It's because we spend too much time focusing on the other team. focusing on their plays, on their weapons, on their media apparatuses, on their propaganda. Fuck them. We need to focus on ourselves. Because when black people focus on ourselves, we create hip hop. We create jazz. We create the Farmer's Almanac. We beat them in their court system with their language. We free ourselves from slavery. That's our track record, black people. This isn't me doing some we just the best because we the best. No, I'm telling you what we do. I'm telling you what we did. We are American culture. America is able to have a stronghold on the rest of the world because of its culture. And what is the culture of America? It's what we do as black people. And they try to lie and tell us our culture is stealing and all this other shit. No, that's their culture. The worst of our culture is unfortunately interacting with them. What we learn from them. Or our reaction from being around them. That's what ratchetness is. That's what all this passiveness is. All this bullshit is our reaction from being in their poisonous environment. It's not who we are. The best plant on earth cannot grow in rotten soil. Is it the plant or is it the soil? Those of us who have taken time to free ourselves from their soil mentally, we're talking about mental blocks, and replant ourselves in our own soil mentally, we tend to win regardless of whatever bad weather comes our way. When black people are properly rooted in ourselves, it don't matter what storm comes. It doesn't matter if it's a flood. It don't matter if it's a drought. Our roots still seem to dig deeper and grow taller when properly planted in our soil. But when we're rooted in their mindset of who we are, when our roots come from what they say, that's when we tend to lose. That's where we get gang culture. That's where we get ratchet culture. That's where we just need to come together culture. And I can't breathe, huh? That's what we only say, you only can't breathe if you rooted in what the fuck they say about you. I'm breathing fine. I breathe good. Clear breath. Fuck what they gotta say. Peace and love to you in return. We some dope people. We just got to remember that. We got to preach that. We got to spread that. Oh, thank you. Someone else, I can't see that. It doesn't tell me the name, but someone else just bought their seat to my upcoming webinar, No Time to Waste, a self-motivation guidebook. Again, I'm not here to argue with other people with information. I'm just here to give my point of view. My little small, very, very, very minuscule slither of knowledge that hopefully contributes to the full 360 that we need. My book is on how I became motivated to find the gifts within me. One, how I found my gifts. And then once I found those gifts, how to nourish those gifts and grow those gifts and use those gifts to put money in my pocket and help my people at the same time. Somebody said I look like I'm supposed to be short in the face. I've been noticing that people that watch Craig Facts, they be thinking I'm short because I sit in that low ass chair, and I be hunched over trying to get to the mic. I can't sit up because the mic is too far away to sit straight up. So I gotta lean forward. People thinking I'm short. No, nigga, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2" and I'm very strong. It's gonna be funny when we go on tour and some of the people that have been running their mouth actually get a chance to walk up on me and see me in person. Don't piss on yourself, niggas that been talking that shit in the chat room. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm a man of peace. I ain't gonna do nothing. It's just words. But I ain't no little nigga by any stretch. But yeah, we as a people, we just gotta keep fighting. Okay. We just got to keep fighting. All right, homie's back. So let me just go ahead and there we go. I just went ahead and just hit that person's messages forever. But yeah, we as a people, all we got to do is keep pushing. We didn't lose anything. They don't beat us. We just stopped fighting. Like I said in the 70s, we went to partying in the 70s and the 80s. And the mantle didn't get picked back up until the early 90s with Generation X. And then the music got real militant. Cats started to fight back in the early 90s. But by the time Bad Boy dropped and started coming out with all that bullshit music, revolution done. We spent the whole 2000s partying in my early 20s. I was always black consciousness, but we weren't really trying to do anything about white supremacy. It was partying, having a good time. Black people didn't get refocused on white supremacy again until the murder of Trayvon Martin and the acquittal of George Zimmerman. And now, in these 10 years, we've seen more progress as far as black people getting put back on the map and getting resources doled back to us than we've seen since the 60s. And without doing much. We haven't really done that much relative to what we can do. Only thing we got to do moving forward is be persistent. That is the only thing different that we got to do more is be motherfucking persistent. That's what we got to do. You cannot not fight and then say, oh, they're just better than us. No, fight back and see and check. Hit them back. And lately, we've been hitting motherfuckers back. And you see how much they cry. They trying to throw this whole stop Asian hate stuff, and black people are like, nah. We gonna keep our name out here. And guess what's happening? We doing it. What y'all talking about in the chat room? That's right, Guru. We cannot get comfortable. We got a long way. And here's how dope we are as a people. When we can fight. We can fight and still dance. That's how it is. Like, we don't have to be those stiff, fork in our ass weirdos. Dog, we so dope. We can beat these motherfuckers with a smile on our face. We beat them motherfuckers in the 60s to the tune of Motown. How dope is that? We can beat these motherfuckers while ice skating, drinking soda pop, and barbecuing amongst ourselves, not inviting them, and still have time to party. We don't have to give up one to get the other. Every time we've won, we won while dancing. We win and dance. Problem is, we get to these points where we do too much goddamn dancing and stop trying to win. But as long as we keep the winning on our mind, we can still dance. And that's what Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk is about. Giving us that motivation to dance and to do it and to win. We just got to commit to it. Can't nobody stop us, nigga. You can't stop God? Creators of the universe? Interstellar beings? Wouldn't it be weird if, because when you look scientifically, and anytime they see beings throughout the universe, these melanated beings, if the aliens came here, aliens probably come here all the time. They be coming through on their little flying saucers, and they be like, "Hold the fuck up! When we came here 1,000 years ago, these niggas, you mean tell me these same niggas that can run and jump, that got 40-inch verticals, look, hit hard as Deontay Wilder, run fast as Usain Bolt, smart as George Washington Carver, Johnny Cochran, and they losing to these motherfuckers? I know the aliens got to be laughing they motherfucking ass off at us right now. Like, do these niggas remember who the fuck they are when we used to come here? What the fuck has been going on these last 500 years with these niggas? The aliens gotta be saying that shit. We used to come talk to these motherfuckers. These are the ones. I remember coming back to Earth when these black folks was teaching these white folks about the stars. And these white folks couldn't comprehend it. And these niggas don't think they can beat these jive bastards? The aliens gotta be laughing their ass off at us. Look at these sorry motherfuckers down here on Earth acting like they can't beat these crackers that we brought here. Oh my God. The aliens gotta be laughing at us. They gots to be laughing at us. Like, these niggas done really forgot who they are. These niggas got amnesia for real, for real. The aliens gots to be laughing at us right now. Miss Lady says, get out any of these churches that are affiliated with white supremacy. Yeah. The church, I like the church for the structure and organization that it is, but the church has been very misused right now. The church is out of line. The church, for the most part, ain't helping us. I think we need to fix the church because, the shell of what the church did for us in the 1800s, we can get back to that now. But it is going to take us cleaning house within the church. And the aliens coming like, hold on. These motherfuckers beat every disease this earth has ever thrown at them, and they rushing to get I'm not going to say the word. because I don't want to get deplatformed. Aliens is like, man, we came here during the Black Plague and they got over that. We came here doing back when Moses put the motherfucking what did Moses do? They said in the Bible, he put a plague of locusts out, whatever. Nigga, these niggas done beat a great flood. They done beat polio. And they running to get a needle for some shit that done killed 2 people. Aliens laughing their ass off at us. Oh, shit. I'm about to get up out of here. Because I'm about to like, it's warm out here in LA today. Today's a very warm day in LA. It's 82 degrees right now. So I'm about to go outside, get on my barbecue grill. I'm going to ride my bike. And I think I might take some shrooms later. We'll see. I'm about to have a very LA day today. Barbecue, bike ride, and fun in the sun. I love my city because this weather is so great. Thank y'all for being in the chat room. Like I started the program, I appreciate y'all for real. I appreciate y'all. I have gratitude every day that there are people that are willing to come and discuss progress and how we can win as black people. I appreciate that because before the internet, those of us who had a strong cultural pride and self-esteem, we thought we were in the minority. We thought we were crazy for thinking that, damn, is voting really the route for us to win? Are we really that bad? Before the internet, we didn't have this apparatus to really coalesce and talk amongst each other and support each other. So now that we do have this here to do it and we're using it properly, I appreciate those of you for doing that, because there's other people out here right now saying black people ain't ever gonna get nothing right. Black people ain't never gonna do. We always the ones fucking up. We this, we that. But what are they doing? They're using the same YouTube to watch fight videos. They're using the same video to follow degenerate programming while saying what black people ain't gonna do. The people in this chat room and the people watching later on, you're using this program that's meant as mass distraction, and you're using it for information. After this show's over with, you're gonna watch Craig Facts. You're gonna watch Tariq. You're gonna watch whatever you watch. Brother Black, you're gonna watch an old John Henry Clark video. You're gonna watch an old Dr. Francis Cress Welsing interview. You're gonna go listen to Dr. Kaba. All things that they put out for bad, we as black folks always find a way to use it for good. We do. And the people who are in this chat room right now, the people listening in your cars later on, you're in that crop. You're in that crop to use what's put out there for mass distraction and use it for good to grow and help yourself. So pat yourself on the back. When the world looks like everybody's out to get us and everything within us is bad, you people here are the ones that's good. And we don't need everybody. We just need a critical mass. We just need enough. Because most people are followers anyway. 90% of people are followers anyway. You're the 10% who lead. Because listening to a program like this is not popular. It's more popular to just spend your time laughing at a bunch of nothing. But you're not doing, that's what's popular. People follow what's popular. And the more people that lead like you guys do and use what's meant for bad and be the alchemist that you are and turn it for good, the people who follow, they'll come along. They'll come along. And those who don't come along, they'll die off or whatever. Either way is fine. Everything ain't for everybody. YouTube is evil. But within the evilness of YouTube, there's a lot of good. YouTube is also beautiful. I thank YouTube. Not because I agree with their tactics. It's because in spite of their tactics, it's still a platform that we can share. and grow and show love amongst one another. Yeah, people gonna watch Zoe. People gonna watch Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett. I love Brother Panic. Brother Panic is an ignorant motherfucker. I love that shit. I love Bobby. Matter of fact, I ain't seen no Bobby Hemmett videos in about 2 months. I think I'm gonna play some Bobby Hemmett sometime in the next couple days. I love Bobby Hemmett. They gave us this shit for bullshit, but we using it for good. Remember this: there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. Enroll in my class 2 weeks from now. No time to waste. Link tree is in the bio. It is in the bio. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those who are willing to listen. Enroll in my class. Donate if you feel like it. Buy a t-shirt if you want to. And remember, when you spread information for those who don't know any better, spread it with love. Spread it with understanding. Spread it with compassion. Because when you do that, you will then attract more people who want to know more. Don't turn people away because you know more than them. Love them. Guide them. And if they a troll and you know that troll don't want any better, they're just trolling you, fuck them. Get away from them. Protect your sanity at all costs. My name is Dewan B. I'm out.